So I've been channeling New Earth stuff for quite a while, and I've had a lot of people come to me and ask me questions about the New Earth. And one of the frequent questions I was getting there for a while was like, how do I know if I'm in 5D? Like, how do I know if I'm there? And I I kind of didn't really know how to respond to this question, but now years have gone by and we're integrating it more and we're experiencing it more and we have more of a relationship with it. But I feel like I can sum up like what is required for New Earth living or 5D, like what it's going to require to play at that level in the human experiment or experience. And so I jotted some of those down, and I was wondering what you would think about them. I feel like living in 5D or above is going to require energetic mastery. Like you being responsible for your own frequency, like being in your own bubble, not tapping into other people's, things like this, right? Not siphoning energetic mastery, also being able to heal your own energy body, like we talked about earlier. Divine co-creation, that's the communication that we talked about, and really tapping in. Emotional intelligence. I know in the personal development arena years ago, mindset was everything, but I think you and I have learned frequency is actually the hot button. And I feel like the subset from frequency is emotional intelligence. Us learning how to be nonviolent communicators and ask for our needs to be met, clarifying those things, talking about those things. I think that's, and being great listeners. I think this is the stuff that we're going to need to survive in 5D on planet Earth. I have a couple of other ones. Self-awareness. If you can't watch your human with compassion and love, you want me to do?
I need one of them.
Self-awareness. Soul alignment. Feeling like yes, no, like, or knowing that this is my destination and where I'm going. And yes, that is the fast pass or the next step to getting me there. That's what I consider soul alignment is when your heart was already like in the direction of something and something shows up and it's like, I'm going to be the vehicle to get you there. And you're like, yes, soul alignment. And then the other last piece I have on my notes is higher self guiding and navigating, us being tapped in and really tuned into our higher self, soul, heart, and being able to navigate that way. What do you think? Do you think that's a good standards list for 5D living?
I was like, yes. Yes. But can you write it down and post that?
I'll post it. Is there anything you think we should add to it, though?
Yes. And before I do that, something really funny came up that I want to share.
Go.
When you said everything that you said, I'm like, yes. Like internally, I'm like, yes. And emotionally intelligent is so funny because I was on a dating app a few months ago, and like on Tinder, and I used to write, all the things. I'm a spiritual, I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, you know what? Now, all I'm going to write is emotionally intelligence is the new sexy.
It is.
That was it. And then that was actually, some people didn't even know what to talk to me about. And then this one guy's like, he started, what's your favorite EQ book? And we had the most incredible conversation. That's just like, and then he was the same. Like we both have experiences in the past with, previous partners that the emotional intelligence wasn't present yet. And it was painful. It was painful for both people. And I have been in a space where I didn't have much emotional intelligence. Gosh, my life was tough. Like I wasn't so much victim and scarcity. Anyway, just thought I would share that.
No, I used to be a terrible listener. I used to be a really terrible listener, and that did not help me in communicating or connecting with other people. Yes. And I think I used to override people with like my thoughts or ideas. And so anyway, I'm not trying to put myself down, but emotional intelligence has been a big game changer to me being able to stay in higher dimensions, higher timelines, listening to my own emotions, acknowledging my own emotions, listening to the needs of others. Like, just that is I think it's a huge game changer. And I feel bad a little bit for all the people who are just so dutiful and masterful to mindset. And I'm like, sorry, the new black dress is emotional intelligence. Please go out and get your sexiest one now.
Yeah, and everything else that you shared, like they're all so good. Yes.
Excellent. Well,
Um,
yes.
what I would add to that,
Yes.
for like being in the because I truly believe that New Earth is a frequency. I am in the frequency of New Earth. Sometimes going back a little bit to that warrior thing, I'll meet someone and they tell me like about what's happening in the world and in their life, and it's dark. It is not New Earth. And I'm like, mate, I'm living in the New Earth right now because I chose that. Because of all the things that you said and because my frequency, I'm like, this is what I'm choosing. Because and some people will say, oh, you're not being realistic. I said I could die in 5 days. I could die in 6 months. And I want to spend each day of my life having a freaking amazing life. And I'm doing my part. And if I get caught up in the lower realms, in the lower frequencies, and I go into the lower realms of Earth, then I am not going to be able to play my part to support the evolution.
Yeah.
So the two things that I would add to that list is you nailed it, and the things are that I believe that I have also channeled, but that I am also my human is very passionate about them. New Earth is us being conscious of the Earth, conscious of our choices. How is that affecting me? How is that affecting other humans? And how is that affecting the planet? So, really conscious of where is our food coming from? Where is our rubbish going to? Where's our clothing coming from? All of those things, which sometimes, a lot of the times, we forget about that. But it's so important because where does that food actually come from? Like for me, I'm very transparent about this part. I am plant-based. I don't consume animals. So like if I was to consume animal, I would love to know where that came from, that I am not actually supporting factory farming. Because factory is atrocious and is destroying the planet.
Right.
And the Amazon. Like my nephew has lived in the Amazon for a few months, and he said anti-rubia. Oh my God! Like he said, it's just so sad to see the Amazon being devastated, to the trees destroyed, and you see cattle that don't belong there. And then where's my rubbish going from? So like sometimes I go shopping, and the shop attendant will say, "Would you like a bag? It's recyclable." I said, "No, I don't want a bag." Because there's not that much space. Like, can you imagine 8 billion humans multiple times a day, every day, saying it's recyclable? No, it's like reduce altogether. So, like, I am very passionate about that stuff.
I think those are great. I've added them to the list. So, if somebody's watching and they are listening, this is what we believe, the two of us believe it's going to take, like what it's going to require to live in harmony and in balance, which are two frequencies that the new earth is all about creating. And what we know as harmony and balance currently needs some massaging. These are frequencies that are getting recalibrated, in my opinion. But what it's going to require to live in the new earth is energetic mastery. This is your own like energy bubble system, you as an energetic being, how you're taking care of your own self and how you're affecting others. The other one on the list was divine co-creation. To me, that's mastering divine communication and then using that to talk to your soul team, your guides, your guardian angels, your higher self, to co-create your highest and best life, your career path, your money choices, your romance matches, family issues. It's the everything. Emotional intelligence is the new black dress and absolutely required if you just want to be a good quality functioning human on this planet, and not even a healer, not even a mentor, but the next, I think, necessary evolution, like getting your driver's license, is going to be at becoming more emotionally intelligent and educating yourself around, like I was talking about, nonviolent communication, learning how to talk about your needs, learning how to listen to others and their desires and their needs, and just becoming really good listeners with an open heart and an open mind, trusting that your way is not the only way. And every soul has a path. Right, Rubia, what do we call that? Sovereignty. Every soul has a path, right?
Yes.
Their own freedom. The other thing on my list I have is self-awareness, and I wrote with compassion and love, because we're not shaming ourselves into the next existence. We're lovingly jostling sometimes, but mostly lovingly and compassionately carrying ourselves from point A to point B. Some of the other necessary tools: soul alignment, saying yes to the things that feel aligned to your soul and what your being wants, deserves, and desires, and your soul's truth. Higher self guiding and navigating the way. I'm going to tell you right now, I've done a ton, probably hundreds of energy sessions on people where I was helping them to activate their divine channel. And one of the first things the divine asked me to do was reduce the inflammation or the overreaction in the amygdala. The amygdala is that fight or flight response, and the divine said most human beings on the planet are way too reactive and triggered. So for people to actually tune into their heart and tune into the divine and have higher self and co-creation, we literally had to reduce the inflammation in the amygdala so they weren't so quick to respond and react and want to fight, flight, fawn, or just sharing that from an energy standpoint. You can do that for yourself. And then Ruby added to the list frequency, being aware of the frequency that you're holding, carrying, embodying, representing, being. I think you need a lot of strategy for that. If I'm going to choose, I'm overriding my duality with a desire to be in more balance, flow, accepting flaws, accepting grace, and accepting that maybe I live in the grays sometime instead of being black and white, right? So when you choose that frequency, I'm overriding duality to be a more balanced flow and live inside the grays. This component takes a while to contextualize, and your brain will be like, well, what does that mean? What do we do now then? What do we do with this? What do we do with that? And maybe you were like a strict vegan or on a strict diet. Maybe you'll have a conversation with yourself. Does that still align with my truth, my values, who I see myself to be? Or is it too restrictive? Is it restricting my fun, my freedom, my flow? Do I want to re-examine this and make some changes instead of being so extreme or excluding? Because I think you need to constantly like check in with yourself to see if a decision sits well with you, and if you're still representing what the values that you hold dear. So, but frequency, I'm so passionate about that one too. And then the other one you said, becoming conscious of our choices and how they affect the planet and how they impact the other people around us. And I think that's massive. I kind of would put that in the self-awareness, but I think you're right though. That is what brings us in harmony with the planet and those that we live with. Basically, our roommates on planet Earth. I think it's important to be kind and to live in harmony with the roommates that we have here on the planet. So yeah, we'll post that. We'll share that. That's a good one. Yes. Thank you so much for checking out this video today. Be sure to like the video, share, subscribe to my channel. And if you really had a wonderful experience on this video, I invite you to share your reflections in the comments section. I love reading those. And if you would like to explore some more of my juicy magic and medicine, please visit my website at newearthmagicschool.com and register for my email list. I've got some things that you're going to love exploring.